And that's really where you want to get to, right? In your trading, you want to get to a point where virtually nothing the market ever presents to you could ever throw you or confuse you or to make you think and analyze. You see, the thinker and the analyzer doesn't know. You don't have to analyze what your name is. You know what your name is. You know, you don't have to analyze who your wife is. You know who your wife is. You don't have to think about that. So, you know, the masterful trader has gotten to a place where he's seen and experienced virtually every single thing the market could ever do, and actually has so much experience that he has mapped out what to do in each of the major occurrences. So let's say that there are 9 different playable occurrences. I'm just giving you an example. I'm not saying there's 9, but there's like 13. But let's say there's 9 that this trader plays, 9 frequently occurring occurrences that this trader plays. And so, but the trader also has, for these 9 things that the market does, he has mapped out every move that is supposed to be done in those nine occurrences. So that now his only job is not to think and analyze and to wonder or to try to figure out if it's time to buy, if it's time to short. No, that's already decided, that's already mapped out. So that when scenario or occurrence number 4 happens, he's already got the steps laid out for occurrence number 4. When occurrence number 7 happens, boom, that's all the decisions for occurrence number 7 is already laid out. I know I do this, I know I do that, I know I do that, boom. And that's where you want to get your trading. And I think these study sessions, and even the trade reviews, the study sessions, and everything that you get here at the club, right? Through the club membership, you want to piece these things together. And over time, I'm telling you, the clarity is going to emerge. And knowing what to do in various circumstances is going to emerge. And that's powerful because that's the thing that novices don't have. That's the thing that money losing traders do not have. And that's what we're building here, week by week, month by month. All right, guys. And what I will say that for those of you who are paying on a month by month basis $10, and even those of you pay by year, obviously a little bit less. But guys, these sessions are worth far more than that cost. Far more than the yearly cost, I need to tell you. So I want you to value them, and I want you to collect them, and I want you to use them. All right? All right, guys. So look, let me get my epic pin up here. Boom. Epic pin. That's not it. A second here. There we go. I'm going to get screen up here. Just a second. Boom. All right. All right, guys. Now, as I discussed, I wanted to take what some might consider to be somewhat of an unorthodox short. I wanted to take this unorthodox short on BABA and show you the reasons for it, because at first glance, this does break a number of key fundamental trading rules. And let's go over the rules that this short breaks first. All right. So I'm coming in to a short right under 173.50. Now, I've already done educational content for you on why these prices are important to me, why the round prices are important to me, like 174, 173, but also while the halfway points are important as well, 173.50. All right, so I'm using that as the basis for the price component of the trade. All right, and I'm coming in, I'm not waiting for trouble first. I'm actually coming in just under 173, all right, into this powerful green bar. That's going to be something we discuss in detail in just a bit. But let's talk about the rules that this seemingly breaks, this short breaks. Number 1, it breaks the color rule. So the color rule is that the majority of your trades should be in sync with the dominant color. Now, if you look at BABA's 2-minute chart at the time I'm shorting, there's only like 2 real red bars. The others are neutral bars, but and powerful green bars, but you don't have red as the dominant color. So I am breaking the color rule. But I do want you to keep this in mind, that if you're having trouble with your trades, you're probably violating this rule more often than not. There are exceptions, and this trade is an exception to that rule. But you want the vast majority of your plays to be in sync with the dominant color. Now, if you're trading off the open, the dominant color might be 1 bar. That's fine. But it should be a dominant bar, not just any little bar off the open. But if you're not playing the open, the vast majority of your trades should be in sync with whatever color is more dominant in number and in size. So if we can see BABA's color green is dominant in number, look at the number of green bars versus red bars, and look at the size of the green bars. Powerful. I'm violating the color rule here. I am violating the position rule. All right? I am violating the position rule. I'll get to that in just a second, Kai. It's a good question. But what's the position rule? There are 2 main moving averages that you know that I use. I use the 20-period moving average, which you see here, and it's the 200-period moving average. Now, position is, are you above those 2 key moving averages, or are you below them? Okay? So most traders get in trouble, right, by fighting position. That they're constantly shorting above the moving averages, and they're constantly looking for a buy below the moving averages. There are exceptions, but the vast majority of your plays should be in sync with position. So think about this. You should be trading in sync with color, the dominant color, in the right position most of the time. As I'm telling you, this trade is an exception. There are exceptions, but it should not be the golden rule of your trading. All right, so I'm violating the position in a way. All right, in a way. And the last, I'm violating trend. What's the dominant trend at the time of my short? An uptrend. And as you know, this is probably the biggest one. The biggest reason for traders losing consistently. They go against the trend the majority of the time. Now, once again, I'm going to tell you, if you keep this 3-point checklist in order with most of your trades, I promise you, you will have a hard time losing consistently. You'll lose, but not consistently. I promise you this. You make sure the vast majority of your trades are in sync with the color, in the right position, and is going with the dominant trend at the time. And another way of saying what the trend is just to look at the slope of the 20-period moving average. The 20-period moving average is rising, the trend is up. The 20-period moving average is declining, the trend is down, period. You want to be in sync with the 20-period moving average the vast majority of the time. And this 3-point checklist keeps a lot of traders in line. So please incorporate this into your trading. Please double check your trades. Do I have color, position, trend? Now, what I will say about this is 1x is fine. So let's say, for instance, you've got, right, let me erase these. Now, let's say, for instance, you've got color, position, but not trend. Okay, 1x is an acceptable trade. 2x is, you're going to live, if you take 2x trades, you're going to live a frustrating life. And if you take 3x trades, you're an idiot, except when you're Oliver Velez, of course. And you get the exception, which I'm going to explain to you now, which Bob is. All right? All right, so let's get to a few things that you know already. The first thing is that Baba reached a point of what I call dual space. Now, dual space is a concept my traders are very familiar with. It is when actually position, that P part of the 3-point system, that position actually can be ignored. So even though I'm shorting in positive position above the key moving averages, my position actually starts to move in my favor with double space. What's double space? When your stock and your 20 and your 200 are each separated wide from each other. When your stock achieves dual space, you can actually start going or thinking about going the other way, at least temporarily. So dual space is one reason that this unorthodox trade is not actually that unorthodox. That's reason number one, dual space. All right. Reason number two, the stock is outside of its volatility range. Baba's volatility range is more along the lines of $3. Okay. So if you account for all the stock's movements over a recent history, its normal volatility range is about $3. All right. Now, the prior close was around 166. This stock achieves 173.50. That's crazy. 176 to 173.50. It is way outside of its $3 volatility range. So if your stock is a volatility range, let's say like this, it's $3, right? This is what it does. No. But now this is what it does. It's just really overdone and ready for some type of pullback. Okay, but you can't just guess because it was outside of its volatility range at $5 before 173.50. So at what point do you pick when to actually take the action? You can't guess at it. So is it $1 outside of its volatility range? Is it $2 outside of its volatility range? Is it $3 outside of its volatility range? You've got to have a trigger. You've got to have a sign that it's this point outside of its volatility range that should be close to the end, at least temporarily. And that sign, so I'm gonna give you that sign, but first, let's go over the two reasons that I've covered so far. Reason number one, dual space, double space. Reason number two, all right, outside of its volatility range, okay? And reason number three, outside of the historical bar count range. So look at the consistent number. We got an interrupt here with this red bar. So look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, once you reach 5 consecutive one color 5-bar move to the upside, you are closer to a reversal most of the time than not. So 5 starts that, this stock needs a rest. 5 in a row starts that. Now, the range is typically 5 to 8. So somewhere in that bar count range, the pullback should happen. It may not happen at 5 or 6 or 7, but it may happen at 8. But it's usually in that 5 to 8 bar range. And this is the 6th bar in a row after this brief interrupt here. So we have the bar rule, 5 bar plus rule. This is powerful stuff, guys. Wow. And then there's, let me see which one I want to do next. Wait a minute, let me see. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay. Then there is, so make sure I get this right, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay. There's reversal time. My traders have been taught that there are several key reversal times throughout the day. One of those reversal times is around the 25 to, it's basically around that 30-minute mark. It's a little bit before the 30-minute mark and a little bit after. That's the reversal time range. A little bit before 30 minutes into a little bit after 30 minutes. The reversal time range is here. 30 minutes, count the bars. So a little bit before 30 minutes and a little bit after 30 minutes. That reversal time is near perfect. This is a 2-minute chart, as you know. So you're right into that 30-minute reversal time. Now, reversal times don't work a lot unless you've had a decent move into the reversal time. If your stock's been going sideways all morning into the reversal time, then the reversal time doesn't really mean that much. But if your stock has been cranking to the upside right into that reversal time, it increases the odds that you're going to get some type of change, at least temporarily. So Bob is moving into his reversal time. I got all of these things stacking up, guys, all of them. You understand? I got the double space. Stocks outside of its volatility range. The 5 bar, okay, it look like a letter. The 5 bar plus, it's gotten beyond 5 bars in a row. It's moved right up into that reversal time. Wow. And the last item of all is that this bar, you have to refresh, William, if you can't see the swing. Refresh, it's there. Okay? This bar is what is called an exhaustion bar. That's one of the key things I'm going to go over in detail with you. Exhaustion bars versus igniting bars. Exhaustion bars versus igniting bars. This is very powerful. Now, why do I call this an exhaustion bar? Because it's the biggest bar of the one color move. This big bar happens after multiple bars of the same color. Listen to me carefully. The biggest bar of the multicolor move and the biggest bar comes after multiple bars of the same color. So even though you see it here, I'm going to draw it. Green bar, green bar, green bar, green bar, green bar. Boom, exhaustion bar. It's the biggest bar of the move, of the multi-bar move, and it comes after multiple bars of its own color. That's called a blow-off top. Now I want you to imagine that you've got a relay race, and each one of these bars is a separate runner on the green team. So this green team runner passes the baton to this one. That one runs. Then this one passes the baton to this one here, and this one runs up. Passes the baton. Boom. Passes the baton. And then the last runner on the team gets the baton and goes all the way to the finish line. Now the reason why this is because this runner dives into the finish line with everything he has. There's no other runner left to pass the baton to. The race is over. This runner has used everything that he and the team has by diving into the finish line. There's no more race. There's no more race. And this is called what I call an exhaustion blow-off bar. Now, what if you have an exhaustion bar, it must mean that you must have an igniting bar. An igniting bar is like this, guys. Let me show you. So let's say, for instance, you have a stock that's doing this. And then all of a sudden, you get this. Boom! Now, that's an igniting bar. It's the biggest bar of this range. This bar was doing bars like this, you see? But this bar is the biggest bar of its recent history, but there is no consecutive number of its own color before it. So another igniting bar would be something like this. So let's say, for instance, you have this boom, 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 and then boom. That's an igniting bar, not an exhaustion bar. There's no multiple green bar run before this big green bar. So you had igniting bars, boom, and you had exhaustion bars, boom. If you understand the difference between these two, you can make your living off of these two events. Exhaustion bars and igniting bars can serve as the foundation for an entire career-based money-making mode. It's crazy that you can simply wait for igniting plays and exhaustion plays, and you can earn your living with that as the basis of your whole trading approach. That's how powerful they are. In fact, some traders are just igniting bar specialists. They don't even do the exhaustion bars and earn their living that way. Thank you, Pat. Now, Kel was asking, like, oh, why didn't you go long? I wish I did. I wish I did. But, guys, a lot of times, like, I had a smaller play in the stop actually here into this bar because this gap is excessive. So remember, I've always taught you that sometimes if a gap's going to be filled, that halfway point is where it should be your first target. So I'm thinking that Baba has the potential to drop halfway. But my traders will tell you that when I went short here and we dropped, I was profitable. Not by a lot because I didn't get a lot on that trade, actually. It was moving too fast. But I didn't like the way it was trading down here. So I killed it. Boom. Now, I wasn't going to go long the stock because of this powerful red bar. So at this point, it takes it out. And I'm like, well, at that point, it's too late. I'm just going to wait for the short opportunity. So to me, this is too late to get in. I mean, in retrospect, I wish I did, but you're already 169.50 to almost 170.150. You're $2 off the low. I just don't do trades like that. I don't go long after a stock has moved $2 up. Now, $2 up. Now I want to buy. No, you're not going to get me to do that. You see, the buy is here and here, but the problem was this. Does that make sense? All right. Guys, you can't look at the exceptions and try to tweak your trading plan because something broke a statistical rule. You don't buy after a $2 run. I'm telling you, let that go by. Let that stuff go by. Leave that for the novices. They'll get their lucky play every now and then. But 80% of the time, that's a bad decision. You know? Don't try to see an exception and just say, but wait a minute. Well, couldn't I have done this? And should I have tweaked that? And what about? No, dude, it's up $2. You don't do that. So there's smart money and then there's dumb money. All right? William is saying, are igniting bars good to trade? Are you kidding me? That's the whole point of this whole discussion. I just said that some traders make their whole living off of igniting bars. You want me to say it in a different language? Yes. All right. Now. All right. So let's go, guys. Let's summarize. Let's summarize these reasons. 1, dual space. Remember that. Boom, boom, boom. 3 fingers spread wide apart. Stop. 20 and 200 far apart from each other. All right. What's the second one? Volatility range. The stock is outside of its volatility range. Okay, sorry about that, William. Sorry about that. Yeah. Great. 3, 5 bar plus. It's more than 5 green bars up in a row. All right. 4, reversal time. I'll just do that RT. Reversal time. Right into near that 30-minute reversal time. Explodes right into the reversal time, a key reversal time. And 5. The second is volatility range. Volatility range. Stock's outside of its volatility range. Baba has a $3 volatility range. So on average, if it moves, on a good day, it'll move $3 or so. Sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less, but that's the average. But when it is way outside of its volatility range, it's susceptible to return. And the last, exhaustion bar. Blow off bar, exhaustion bar. And all of these things coming together at the same time. And can we add a 6th one? Yes. Can someone guess what the 6th one is? I started talking about it earlier. It's the reversal time. That's right, the 0.50 number. Boom! Key price point. Wow. Wow. 6 things lined up together to say, all right, I'm going short here. Right under the 173.50 number. Now, I got to talk about this part now. You have no reference for a stop. So you have to have a dollar stop. There's nothing to the left of you. There's nothing to reference to the left. Baba's in new high territory here, at least for its recent history. So there's nothing to the left to reference. There's no resistance to the left to reference as a stop. So you have to have a dollar stop. You see? So the number doesn't matter. You just have to have this based on your trade plan. I was willing to risk $3,000 on trade. If this went up, if this kept going up, and I'm negative 2,000, negative 2,500, negative 2,700, negative 2,000, 950, boom, I'm out. Regroup. So that's what I mean by dollar stop. What are you willing to risk on the trade? If you're willing to risk $500, then once it goes up to 490 or so, 485, boom, you kill the trade, regroup. If you're willing to risk 300 on the trade, okay, that's your dollar stop. Whatever your dollar stop is, if the stock moves up to that and creates that negative for you, you exit the trade. And every trade should have a maximum dollar loss amount. This should be a part of your overall trading plan. A lot of my beginning traders have $150 as a maximum loss. Some have $100 as a maximum loss per trade. All right, 20 cents is, well, Willie was saying his maximum loss is 20 cents. That can be okay if you're trading low prices. But if you take a 20-cent stock and go up the ladder in price, you're going to get destroyed your whole life, because you can't cramp high-priced stocks into a 20-cent box. They will break that box all the time. You understand? So be careful with your box, your stop box too small. You understand? You got to take your stop box, and it has to be a sizable stop box for the price range. So $3,000 is a nice sizable stop box for Baba. It's too big for Twitter, but it's just right for Baba. But I can't take a 2-cent stop box to Twitter. I can't take even a 5-cent stop box to Twitter. Twitter will break that 5-cent box all the time. You're just asking to be, basically, you ever see like the Three Stooges? Or one Three Stooges slaps your face like 8 times in a row. That's how you're going to feel, like one of the Three Stooges being slapped all the time by the market. All right. Yeah, so I'm thinking that Baba should not break beyond this 174 area. You understand? So that's what I'm thinking. That even if it has a little more upside, it's not much. All right. And so I'm in here. I got a maximum stop of 3K. Now, when this bar happens, boom, I'm already profitable in the trade. But now I move my stop down to the high, because now after a nice solid red, I do not want the stop from this overbought position showing me it is still so powerful enough to take out a solid red bar. Solid red bar should cause trouble from this point now. Solid red bar should not be a pause. It should be trouble. And so now my stop comes down to the high of the day. Boom. All right. And so I'm saying, where can this go? Now, you've been taught that I'm always cutting things in half. Look at where the halfway point coincides. That's crazy, right? And with the 20-period moving average. So I'm going for the halfway mark, more or less. But the key thing I'm going for is the 20, and the 20 happens to be right around the halfway point. It's not perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. Nothing is. Boom. Coming out of that play down there. Oh, boom, I got orders already down there waiting for it. And the stock moves right to those orders. Guys, that's crazy accuracy. That's crazy accuracy. I'm not saying I'm always that accurate. In fact, sometimes I'm down outright sloppy. Every trader can get into a sloppy mode. I get into sloppy modes. I still usually make money, but I know in my soul, Oliver, you're sloppy. Be careful. You're making money still, but you're sloppy. I'm not always happy with the way I make money. My execution skills usually get me out of a lot of trouble. But, you know, I'm not always on point. I'm human too. But this was masterful precision based on all of these 6 points. All right. So that's right. Well, yeah, 6,000 shares. You got to incorporate some slippage in there, and you have to incorporate coming out like this. So here is, and also your cost, right? So here is the stock dropping, but I'm coming out in layers, right? So here's the stock hitting my first layer. I'm out of some, out of more, out of more. Oh, out of more. I'm saying, okay, I need that last one. And if it turns, I got to hit it this way. Boom, and cancel this layer. You know, like that. Traders, take these things that I discussed with you today, incorporate them. And if I had to pull one key thing out of today's session for you to really focus on, it's igniting bars versus exhaustion bars. If you got to listen to this recording over and over again, do it. But if you have to pick one thing, that's the powerful thing. You put yourself in a new realm as a trader when you understand and know how to identify exhaustion bars and igniting bars. Like I told you, you can build a whole trading world around that concept. I want you to know that you are my babies. You are mine. You are my VIP Trading Club members. Be proud of that. Boom!